to track and field. Please help. Basically, this athlete has no idea what to do. This athlete's a freshman, never did track before, and is just like, I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to break down a few things to kind of just expect and just some things to think about as you go forward through the track and field process. So track and field has officially started, and athletes are training with their team. They're getting just the motions going. There are a few things that I think are very important for athletes to focus on and put their mind around as they're entering into this track and field season. So I got some notes here. The first thing is the mentality, like understanding the mentality of a track and field athlete. Track and field is not like many sports. So, for example, let's start with, let's say team sports. Let's say soccer, right? Soccer and volleyball. You typically go to practice and then you stay after and do extra work. You might do more hitting lessons, or if it's soccer, kicking lessons, speed training, whatever it may be, strength training, all those things. That mentality is normal for those team sports because you might have a 3-hour practice or a 2-hour practice for volleyball, and you're just hitting, serving, playing a little bit, and then you're done, right? The total amount of time that you're physically moving is maybe 20, 30 minutes, right? Soccer is probably even less. So the biggest part is you cannot bring that training mentality into track and field. When you come into track and field, let's say you do a quick workout, 45 minutes, right? But in that 45 minutes, you ran 6 400s. If you run 6 400s at a 75 and above pace, I promise you're going to be sitting on top of the trash can, like leaning over it because your stomach is throwing up whatever was in it. Now, the reason for this is because you're changing your physical body into another strong being, right? When you're running 400s, your body's going through this trauma, through a shock, and it's not only just 10, 15 seconds, 3 seconds for volleyball, 4 seconds for soccer. It's literally a minute and a half. If you're a newbie, if you're a freshman to track and field and you're running 400, you're probably going to be running between a minute and 90 seconds. And if you're emotionally running like this, the first one, you're tired. All right, feels good. My stomach's kind of acting weird, but I'm all right. Right. Then the second one comes. You're like, didn't we get a break? I thought we had a break. It seemed like 5 minutes just went by so fast. Then you're on the next one and you're like, okay, I finished the second one. I'm tired. I'm looking around like, how can I sneak out of here without the coach noticing? And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes passes by again. Your third one comes up and you finish and you're like, listen, I don't know if track and field is the thing that I want to do. I don't know why I signed up. I'm like, this is not what I want to do with my life. Then you finish the fourth one. I didn't know that your butt can lock up. My butt is stuck and I can't move, and my arms are stuck. My lungs feel like they're about to pop. I'm trying to figure out if sports is even a thing for me. Like, I think I'm done with this whole sport. Oh, we got to run again. And then now you run the next one, right? And you finish and you're like, I literally can't feel my legs. And now I'm contemplating on if I even want to go to this high school. I want to go somewhere else. Like homeschool would be great so I can study on the couch. Like I am done, right? And these are just some of the thoughts you may have. I'm not trying to scare you off, but these are the type of thoughts that you may have through this process. And so what's important is that you understand that track and field is going to physically exhaust all of your energy. So you should not be looking at having multiple practices throughout your high school season. Now, I own a club team, and I'm literally saying don't have multiple practices, even though majority of the kids of the high school age come to me after their practice, right? However, you don't really want to have multiple practices. And I don't like that the kids are having multiple practices. My old philosophy was athletes who are in high school don't come to me. Stay at your high school. But times have changed. The resources of the high schools have changed. The knowledge levels have changed to where the athletes are like, I need to make sure I come. And so I have to, as a brand, make my shift and make sure that the kids can still come, be safe, and learn. Right. So the first part of it is do not bring team sport mentality into track and field mentality. Even though track and field is a team sport, don't bring those habits from those sports, those ball sports, into track and field. It's only going to make things worse. If you were to try to run or do a strength training session or do agility work or speed training after running 6 400s, you're not going to want to do it at all. It's going to be tough, right? Then also, you're going to put yourself in a higher percent or opportunity of getting injured because the muscles, as they get weak and they get tired, they will tell you we're tired, so they're going to tighten up. As they tighten up, they're telling you stop moving. But as you say, I'm going to try my hardest, I'm going to work through this stress. Well, then they give up and then they tear. So we don't want that either. Okay. The next part that I want to get into is your training schedule. Right. Track and field is 6 days of sport. You're training 2 days, 2 hours a day, most likely. Then you're also training on Saturdays. Now, preseason, depending on the program, you may or may not. But once you get to end season, you have track meets. Now you're going to have 6 days of training because you have track meets on the weekends. If you are a freshman, odds are you're not going to be on varsity. If you are on varsity, good job, because that's an honor to be on varsity as a freshman. And so most of your meets are going to be the dual meets and meets that are local, but not all the meets. You're going to have, I know for us in California, we have about 16 to 20 track meets, depending on how far you go. But if you're a freshman, you're typically getting 11 track meets. So it's a lot less. So my biggest saying to athletes when it comes down to the mentality is this first year of track and field, just enjoy everything, make new friends, compare what you guys do to other schools, what things are working, what things are not working. Just go and have fun, honestly, because once you do that and you embrace that, now you're more eager to maybe join the off-season team for next year. Maybe you're more eager to now say, okay, I've got an experience of what track and field looks like. I watched this video and I did exactly what coach said. And I realized that, yes, those 400s are a doozy, and you go into the next season with these expectations, you're going to have a different perspective of your overall experience, and you want that to be fun. Okay. So um, next thing is food. When you're playing basketball, when you're playing football, soccer, you're working in spurts. Okay. In these spurts, football, I believe it's 30 seconds or whatever. But the reality is it's more like six seconds of activity. Soccer, it might range between 2 to 10 seconds max, right? Track and field, depending on your event, could be 5 minutes straight, right? Depending on your event, could be 10 minutes straight. If you're doing sprints, it can be 20, 30 seconds straight of full energy. Your body needs to be fed correctly. So I'm not a dietitian. My wife is, but I am not. And so I'm only going to speak on a very surface level. Eating red hot Cheetos, drinking sodas, aspirin, I'll get into at the end. These things are not beneficial for your performance. When it comes down to eating, there are the mainstream, which is calories in, calories out, right? Calories equates to energy. But when it goes to the real thing, what is your body actually consuming? Okay. So let's say I have a hamburger before I go to McDonald's, I have a hamburger and fries and a soda before a track meet. One, the food's going to take X amount of time to break down and digest. Two is I just had 1,000 calories. That 1,000 calories of this calories in, calories out concept makes sense. 1,000 calories in, I'm going to burn 1,000 calories in the next 4 hours in this track meet, and I'm good, right? The problem with that is the calories are not beneficial for your body. So what does that mean? Your body is made up of cells, right? I know I'm going into science. Made up of cells, and those cells don't eat burgers and fries. What do they eat? They eat vitamins and minerals. So in that burger, in that bread, in those fries, what vitamins and minerals are in that. In that soda that I had, what vitamins and minerals are in there? So as the food enters our stomach, our stomach is looking for these vitamins and minerals. And they're saying, okay, there's protein, there's a lot of fat, and that's it. There's one little piece of lettuce that was on the burger, and that's it. Your cells don't have much to choose from and don't have much to eat. Okay. So, yes, you may have energy, but your body isn't functioning the way that it needs to. So, you want to focus on, I'm not going to say change your diet because I'm not a dietitian. But what I will say is if you add in fruits and vegetables to your current diet you're already eating, you're now going to be feeding your cells that need food to eat. Does that make sense? So if you want to eat that burger, for now, I'm going to say just eat it because that's what you typically have been eating. However, if you have the salad, if you have the vegetables, if you have the grains, if you have the nuts, if you have the water versus Gatorade, all those things prior to, your body will absorb those nutrients and love you for it. And then you can eat that fatty burger. And odds are, because of the fiber you're eating and all those other things you're bringing into your body, your your cells are full. And now when your body gets full, it gets full faster, right? That's layman's terms. So there's so much more to it, but just take that for now. So what I will say is assess what you're eating. The best way to assess is take pictures of every single thing that you eat every day, every meal. Don't worry about calories. Don't worry about anything else. Just take pictures of it. Then take those pictures and then talk to a dietitian and say, this is what I've been eating. How do I get better with track and field? And then they will let you know exactly what they feel is the best thing for you. Okay. All right. Next thing is goals. You being a freshman this year, or even if you're not a freshman, if you're a first year track and field athlete, just you're new to track and field, you got to set goals. This is the analogy that I use for all my athletes. Let's say you were gifted a boat, right? A big boat. And you are also gifted a captain. Captain said, listen, I got you. We can go anywhere you want to go. Where are we going? Right? I want you to literally right now, literally think of where you want to go. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 1, 2. Let's say, if you need more time, pause the video. Let's say you thought of a place. Ask yourself, how specific are you? Did you say a place, as in like an exact address? Or did you just say somewhere nice, somewhere fun, somewhere tropical? Think about that, right? If you did not say an exact country, destination, that's an exact pinpoint location, then you're broad in your answer. And so what I'm trying to illustrate is if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to prepare for it. Okay? If you said I want to go to Jamaica, Montego Bay, that exact spot, right? Then okay, the captain can then say, it's going to take us 3 weeks to get there by boat. We need to pack this many items for food. We need to prepare for these type of weather conditions. You also would know what to pack. You also know if you're going to be there for 2 weeks, how much to pack, how much money to bring, who you're going to bring with you. You're going to have all these things that are like organized in this process, right? But if you said, I don't know, anywhere's fine, right? It's just somewhere warm. That captain has no idea where to go. And now you're relying on the captain to choose a place. And that's how life works. If you don't make decisions on what it is that you want and where you want to go, life will choose it for you. And here's the thing. When people are making deliberate decisions on life, their deliberate decisions aren't random. They want the best of the best. If somebody were to tell me, you can have anything you want in this world, what do you want? I would be like, I want this, I want that, I want this car, I want this house. And guess what? If you were, I don't know, anything's fine, just somewhere nice, right? Guess what you're not going to have? The house that I chose, because I chose that house and it's gone out of the possibilities of what you could have. You're going to get what's left. And you don't want to live a life of what's left, because I would assume you agree that that's kind of weird. That's not as fun, right? There are athletes right now that I'm specifically training that want to be state champion in their events, and they're on pace to be state champion. If you are saying, I want to run track and I want to just improve, I want to get faster, I want to get a six pack, that's great. But you're not going to have the same level of challenges, the same level of adversity that the athlete that says, I want to be state champion, right? You're not going to train with the same amount of motivation. It's all going to be different. So now when opportunities come up to train with the varsity group, the state qualifier, the person who wants to win state, is going to be more exciting to work with, right? More exciting to coach, more exciting to be around that person than the person who is just, I don't know, I just want to get better and develop, right? So it's important that you really get specific on what it is that you want. If you're not sure about what you want, odds are, because you're a freshman, right? The biggest thing is interview a senior that you truly respect, a senior that you really want to be in their like group, right? You want some of their results. Say, what are some of your goals? And then you start there. I'm going to do a whole nother video about how to set specific goals, but you now understand setting goals is very, very important, because you don't want to go through random experiences. Okay. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is have fun. Don't expect to PR every single track meet. Expect to have fun each track meet. Expect to gain experiences each track meet. Expect to make new friends each track meet. Expect to do something different each track meet. If you had no idea what event you're good at, try all of them. I had no idea I was going to be a collegiate hurdler. No idea. I never even saw hurdles before I started high school track. I tried long jump. Then a coach tried me in the 100, and he was like, you're slow. And he's like, hey, you know what? You're tall, so try these hurdles. I tried the hurdles. He's like, yeah, I want you to three-step them. Take 3 steps. I did. He was like, yo, you just 3-stepped as a freshman over the hurdles. You're now on varsity. Fast forward, I became a college athlete recruited for hurdles and triple jump. So have fun, gain experiences, go as far as you can. If you enjoyed that experience with high school track and you have the time available, then also try looking into joining a club team to gain more experience. Just do as much as you can and have fun. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I think I did too.